Coming up in the show in just a few minutes, actually, we've got a really cool guest coming on. You know I'm a geek. And I don't know how much you know about artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to artificial art. Can we call it that? Art? No, because it's not fake art. I don't know. AI art? I don't really know. I've just got a message through from Juice Arana saying, art, official art. Thank you, Anna. Very good. Anyway, we're talking all about it because an amazing student here in the county has decided to use artificial intelligence to do his A-level art project. And I am absolutely fascinated by it. And they're coming into the studio, going to be talking me through it. I've even heard rumour of a headset coming in, which I'm quite excited about. First, though, Lil Nas X.
BBC Radio Oxford.
Evening to you then. Cheers for having us on. 22 minutes past 7, Friday evening. The weekend is inbound and I've got a guest in the studio. Welcome along.
Hello.
How are
Thank
you?
you for having me. Good, thank you.
Tell me about what you've done because this is insane. So you're 17?
Yeah.
17, so you're A-levels.
Yeah.
And you've shot the teachers a bit.
Yeah. So I basically created a self-portrait in the metaverse.
Okay.
And the way I did this is I made some paintings and some drawings of myself. Then I used an AI algorithm to upload them into this sort of 3D space that can be accessed on a virtual reality headset.
Okay, so wind it back. What's the metaverse?
So the metaverse is basically this virtual 3D internet, 3D Facebook. It's being developed at the moment. Some leaders are Mark Zuckerberg, as I'm sure is known. He rebranded Facebook to Meta last year in order to welcome these changes. And it's basically a world in virtually where you can really do what you want. You can go to school, you can work there, you can play games, and I think it's like digitizing the world. I think it's really, really interesting.
Do you think people will end up going to school in the metaverse?
I think so. One of the big influences of the entire project was Ready Player One, this book of basically this virtual world that's really developed by one man, and this boy goes to school then, he blocks people in his classroom, and it's really interesting. I can definitely see these changes being real.
Okay, so do you have much of an interest in art away from AI?
Well, definitely. The real purpose of this project was really to reflect on the metaverse and the real big ethical issues of it. Yes, we are more connected online, but we also in our own rooms in the virtual world. I feel like in a way we're isolated as well.
Yeah, totally. So you decided to try and merge the two. How did you get to that point? How were you like, do you know what? I think I can make this work.
Well, yeah, I made, of course, it started off with the paintings and the drawings and just thinking about some of the big issues of our time. I think art always reflects and foreshadows the future. So another big influence was the idea that we are creating a digital double of ourselves by going on the internet. So like the websites are creating data from us, and they'll sometimes know more about ourselves than we know just because of all the little actions that we can record online. So I really want to visualize this. There's a lot of research into actually making this artwork.
Yeah. Okay. So given that the kind of the art itself is about this kind of digital duplicacy, is the picture polished and refined, and how real and true is it?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting idea, the whole idea of self-perception in the metaverse as well. All right, and from one angle, it's obviously a three-dimensional sculpture in this virtual world because of the algorithm. But from one angle, it looks like a self-portrait. But really, when you walk around, it sort of distorts in front of you. I really love that metaphor because really, can we identify with sort of digital assets?
Yeah.
I know about NFTs last year blowing up on the internet. Yeah, how much? Yeah, can we say that digital assets are ours? Can we really live in digital zones?
Oh, so there's a lot more depth to this than just, hey, look what I've done.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's really impressive. I can't wait to see it. You've got a very mysterious black box in front of you.
Yeah, I do.
What's in there?
So this is the my headset, it's the Oculus Quest.
Okay.
And we're basically able to view these works, and I think we'll love it. It'll be a very fun experience.
Okay, so this is a way of me being able to see the art
and
itself.
walk around them in real time. So you're actually walking around the studio in order to view this world and this sculpture.
Okay, I'm excited. Let's get it ready. We'll stick a song on and get back to it. This is BBC Radio Oxford. Producer Anna, all sorts is happening in the studio right now.
All sorts. It's all kicking off.
It's all kicking off. All kinds of things are happening. Reuben's in the metaverse right now.
Right, we need to say, Reuben, I didn't know about this. He has created a space within our studio, so he had to make the edges of the space, like build a virtual box, and he's now
in the
living
real
in
world,
it.
but it's like a virtual box in the real world.
He's got like this thing that looks like a very small metal detector that he's holding and sort of making a box shape. And Reuben is now living within that. That is the world he exists in.
Yes.
You and I have no idea what's going on.
No, because Reuben has a headset on.
Yes.
Over his eyes that's showing him different things.
He's literally in the Matrix.
If you have just joined us, by the way, this evening, Reuben is from Whitney. He is an A-level student and he's created a virtual piece of artwork in the metaverse to reflect on the idea of kind of duplicating ourselves in the metaverse, how things are a little bit different. They're not necessarily as you perceive them, but very, very convincing. And hopefully, we've got our fingers crossed. You know what technology's like, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We can try and experience this for ourselves and maybe record a bit of it so that you can see it listening at home as well. Next, after this, big tune from Craig David, it's 7 Days. Here at BBC Radio Oxford.
Will Reynolds, this is BBC Radio Oxford.
Reuben is here from Whitney. Reuben, thank you so much for coming on the show. We have been talking all about your A-level art project. Just briefly remind us, what are you doing? Because this is remarkable.
Yeah, so I basically turned a self-portrait into a 3D sculpture using VR technology.
Okay.
And I made some paintings, some drawings, and I used an AI algorithm to translate these into three-dimensional work that can be viewed through a VR headset in real time.
So these are pictures that already exist that you've made into a model.
Absolutely.
Okay. Describe to me, because a minute ago, we're not going to be able to get it to work today, but a minute ago, you were testing this out in the studio and you had like a headset on. What's that all about? For someone who doesn't know what the metaverse is, what is that? What's going on?
Yeah, so at the moment, being in development for the upcoming years is the metaverse. This is a 3D world, a 3D Facebook, or 3D internet, really. And you can basically do whatever you want there, go to school, go to work, do games. And it's in development at the moment, but we keep getting little hints with the new VR headsets being released of what can really be achieved. So this VR headset I have today is basically one of the headsets at the moment that will basically give an insight into what it'll be like in the future in this virtual dimension.
Okay, so this is like it's like social media that's been hyped up quite a lot, so you can actually, this is like a whole new visual world that you can like interact with and move around in, and the way that you access it is by putting on this headset which covers your eyes and with a screen and shows you things and plays noises in your ears and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how it goes. And so you've managed to create like a model of yourself in this world with the idea of saying, hey, look, this looks really realistic and this is possible, but remember, it's not actually real. And that's the kind of message you're trying to convey with this art, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you've pulled up a few pictures here to show me what it would look like if I was in the virtual world. Explain to me what these pictures look like, because from one angle they look just like you, and from another angle it's all completely morphed and doesn't look like you at all. What's going on there?
Absolutely. So from one angle, it really has the 2D version of me. So, you know, all features in the right place and it just looks like a 2D image.
Yeah.
But as you walk around, you step around the studio and you really look at this, my artwork, it's 3D sculpture. It distorts as different parts have different three dimensionalities to them. So I think it's really interesting because really, how do we identify and how do we perceive ourselves in these virtual worlds? Yeah. And can we really identify with a virtual version of ourselves?
Right. And on the face of our kind of virtual profile, it all looks great and as it should and all normal. But actually, when you dive a bit deeper, things aren't quite as they seem.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Reuben, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people see this and find out more about what you do?
Yeah, so to see the real sculptures, they can be accessed on my website, which is reubenmeller.com. And there you can see videos of all of them. And yeah.
Insane. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And do you know how this is going to go down? I guess you haven't got the marks back yet, but what's the initial reaction been from your teachers?
They were a bit surprised. I don't think they've quite seen anything like it. I don't really know what they think, to be honest. I think it's just a bit out of reach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best of luck. I'm sure you'll nail it. It sounds like you've got a really good thing going. And I can't wait to see what you make next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in and have a great weekend.
Great, you too.